the bicentenary facade, not everyone was rejoicing at the birth of a nation, and they could hardly be called un-Australian. The dissenters were Aborigines. While some were willing to reenact the roles of their bewildered ancestors, there were others who thought the whole idea preposterous. And while this group was preparing to do the Cook bit all over again, another group was preparing simply to do it over.
I think, and this is my own personal feelings, that one of the greatest fraud perpetuated against the native inhabitants of this country over the last 200 years is the fact that there is a proclamation of confession and profession that this is a Christian country.
An Aboriginal pastor, one of the angry speakers at a meeting called last night to boycott the Cook bicentenary. And if the mood wasn't angry, it was sad, a La Perouse housewife.
Well, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't leave my people. And to leave them flounder and to not be able to speak for them. I thought I would be selling my people down the street somewhere else. And this to me would have been a tragedy. And for all those Aborigines who have been paid to take part in this kind of thing, I think I've got very strong feelings about it. For a few pounds they've been paid to take part in this bicentenary and not stick with their own people.
I feel that this money might have been better spent, particularly on an occasion like this, the 200th anniversary of the taking of the country, in returning some to the owners of the country.
Are your kids going to be treated like this for another 200 years? You take the responsibility. None of you have got the guts not to stand up to demand your rights as men and as women. So don't come moaning. You take other water tubs and dishes out to you, because you're going to play it its own way. You're going to lose. The only way you're going to get anywhere is by coming out and demanding your rights and showing that you want your rights, not begging.
And so it was, the first cautious moments of our history, the beginning of the heritage we now all share.
Peace was yours, Australian man, with tribal laws you made, till white colonials stole your peace with rape and murder raid. They shot and poisoned and enslaved, until a scattered few, only a remnant now remain, and the heart dies in you.
Together with all the bays, harbours, rivers and islands situated upon the said coast, in the name of His Majesty, King George III, and his heirs and successors forever.
And the editorial said that Kath Walker, what she was telling her people to do in front of Her Majesty the Queen was in very bad taste. I immediately rang the editor and said, I agree with you. I also consider what the people of Australia are doing in the form of genocide to erase the people in Australia was also in very bad taste. Now print that in your editorial.
The poet, Kath Walker, was one of the leaders of the group which decided to boycott the Cook celebrations. According to the group, the anniversary is a time for mourning rather than celebration. Consequently, it decided to mark the day with a midnight to dawn vigil in the city, followed by a wreath-laying ceremony at La Perouse.
Kath, in this idea of rejecting Captain Cook and the ceremony, aren't you in fact rejecting modern white Australia?
Oh no, I don't think we're rejecting modern white Australia. What we're doing is trying to wake them up out of their apathetic attitudes, because we know how serious is the health of the race of the people, of the Aboriginal and Island people, and we are a race that could be wiped out unless the Australian public charges the government with the responsibility of doing something for the Aboriginal people. because our health is in a very bad way. We are in a very bad way.
But virtually the way you're doing it, you're really, in fact, insulting the white Australian heritage with the ceremony tomorrow. Do you think that this may, in fact, alienate your own, the Aboriginal cause?
We don't consider it an insult. We consider that we have the right to mourn in our own way, the same as the whites have a right to mourn in their own way. They mourn in their own way. Every year they have a mourning for their dead. And this is the first mourning we've had for 200 years. I think we've let them off pretty lightly.
The Aborigines of Australia rolling into Botany Bay. A declaration for equality for the Australian Aboriginal people.